side here.
Well, Samogowski and Deneau needs to go here, drawing against 4. Needs to go. Oh, he's going to come up light. And Ontario will win it over Manitoba. At 4-3, things weren't looking good for Rob Fowler, but then something clicked. Now, a couple of late licks, one, and sit there. After 4 straight wins, their reward is now a rematch with the hottest team in the Brier. Now you got to touch that red up. Front, what a shot! It is 1 versus 2 with a spot in the final on the line.
We're in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan for this year's Tim Hortons Brier. They've battled hard through round-robin play, and now we're finally down to the Final 4, and we'll crown a national champion this weekend in Saskatchewan. The last time we were at the Credit Union Center, it was Nova Scotia and Mark Dacey in this building pulling off an incredible comeback and beating Alberta. And now these two teams are hoping for some magic as well. Leading the way, has anyone more experience than Glenn Howard? Not at this tournament. 14 appearances. He's played in more Brier games than anybody else, and hoping to beat him tonight in this 1-2 game. There you see Rob Fowler and company out of Brandon, Manitoba. Always pressure to come out of that province and perform. Always exciting when we get to the weekend here, the Tim Hortons Brier, Ontario, Manitoba, in that 1-2 game tonight. We've had a great week here at the Credit Union Center. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Mudrick, and when it comes to second places, it's been a tough few years for Glenn Howard. Since 2006, he's been in 5 Brier finals. He's lost 4 of them. The only win coming in 2007 in Hamilton. He won the Brier title, went on to win the World Championship as well. And if you count that loss at the Olympic curling trials in Edmonton to Kevin Martin, it has been tough when it comes to second place for that man, Glenn Howard. He's going to try and get back to the final here, but standing in his way is Rob Fowler and Team Manitoba. Of course, just to get here, he had to knock off the defending world champ and Brier champ in Jeff Stout. No one's won more titles than that province. And how did we get here? Well, this is the road to the Final 4, of course, tonight. The 1-2 game, Ontario taking on Team Manitoba. And what a great story, as it'll be Cooey versus Cooey once again. The first time the Yukon Northwest Territories has made the playoffs, so that'll be a great battle in the 3-4 game tomorrow, brother versus brother, with much more on this big 1-2 game tonight. Vic Rutter.
Hello, Canada. Linda Russ alongside. You can tell the crowd is already into it. It's hard to imagine it being more exciting than it was last evening, one of the most special nights in Canadian curling history. But I'm sure we'll get some big shots and more excitement over the next few days of this championship. 1-2 game coming up, and when we talk about Ontario, look at Glenn Howard. The way he started, he hiccuped his way, really. He could have very easily been 2-3, maybe even 1-4. But good teams find a way to win, and he is a good team.
Well, they're a very good team, and yes, the start of the week, Glenn Howard was not comfortable with the ice and stones, but you know what? Give him the title Best Event Manager. He managed things, last rock, extra ends, whatever it took, he found a way to win. Now, the team looked more comfortable. Wayne Madaw in particular, looking much better. Craig Saville was sick, he's back on track, but Glenn Howard is the key. The last 2 games, he's been terrific, and it's in the eyes, it's in the slide, he's back, he's got momentum, he's wanting to win this badly.
We use that word manage a lot, Russ, and when it comes to Manitoba, go back to last Saturday, the first game we showed you when it all began. Manitoba lost to Quebec, so they then manage a loss, and they put some wins together, had another loss. Their biggest managed win was on Wednesday night, and it came against Kevin Cooey in Alberta.
Yeah, that was the way to manage that 8-3 record. They're the same as Alberta, but by beating Alberta, they get to that crucial 1-2 game, Vic. That means instead of having to play 3 sudden death games to win the Brier, they can make it to the final by 2 different ways. I think this team from Manitoba plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. A lot of rocks in play. They're not going to be afraid of Ontario. They're going to make them have to win this thing.
Make the final. I think I may use that sometime. When we come back, it is the 1-2 Page playoff game on a great night here in Saskatoon.
Obviously, you can't win unless you get to the finals. We're very good at that. I'm proud of our record, proud of the fact that every time we're here, we're always in the playoffs, we're always in contention, we're super consistent. We just got to get over that hump.
You want to lead in a certain way, and you want to give confidence to your team. And I think as a skip, if you can stay calm and control your emotions, it helps. You know that there's nerves, and you know that those nerves are okay, and you just got to use that to bring your best performance to the table.
The 2012 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Roll Up the Rim to Win. It's time for Tim's. The 2012 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Ford, official automotive partner of the Canadian Curling Association. By M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle. And by Sponge Towels, paper towels. Nothing absorbs like it.
So here we go, the Final Four. It's the playoffs of the 2012 Tim Hortons Brier here in Saskatoon. Ontario against Manitoba. Time to meet the teams now. It's brought to you by Ford. Drive one.
Hi, I'm Glenn Howard, skip of Team Ontario. Our lead is Craig Saville, our second is Brent Lang, our third is Wayne Madaw, and we curl out of the Coldwater and District Curling Club.
Hi, I'm Rob Fowler, skip from Team Manitoba. Our lead is Derek Samagalski, our second is Richard Daniel, our third is Alan Liburn, and we curl out of the Brandon Curling Club in Brandon, Manitoba.
Ontario's record was 10-1, 2 games clear of both Manitoba and Alberta. So by virtue of that, they have the last rock, they have the stones, they're playing the red, they have the hammer. And getting us underway playing yellow, the Manitoba lead is Derek Samagalski.
Nice and tight, guys.
It was a wonderful round robin for Derek. This is a new experience for him. We're down to the one sheet. We always say it's just so much different. You've had a rhythm for the whole round robin, and now the world is looking at this one sheet and your shots.
Yeah, it is different for us because there's nowhere to hide, is there? I mean, you can make a mistake. You can slip it in if that was in fact what he wanted to do or he didn't want to do. When there are 3 other games out there, you only hear a murmur a little bit. Now you'll hear the murmur from everybody.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Nowhere to hide at all. And these games can go one way or the other. You never know. You get in the wrong side of the inch a couple times, tick a guard here or there. It could be 4-0 for some team. And it's tough on the psyche. You have to be into each shot individually, take the crowd out of it, concentrate on everything.
Really curl. Straight tap, really? Just back, forward.
Well, it's not unexpected to see a corner guard. Ontario likes to play aggressively. They love to win the battle of that front end. They have a wonderful front end, getting the angles in the right spot. And they do want to see Rob Fowler have to draw. And that's close it down, make that scoring area tiny for your opposition.
I think it's 10. Yep. 8. Hard.
Slipped into the rings with Derek's first one, but it's out enough that this is hit dead on. The yellow rock will not be in the rings. In the free guard zone, cannot be removed.
So he couldn't get to the nose, angles it back to bite the 4-foot.
For Manitoba, I'm not saying run and hide, but you have to keep it a little more open. Rob Fowler's draw percentage is much lower than his hit. You have to give him some room, and that means Alan Liburn has to occasionally open it up and give him that space to be able to score.
So when you say Ontario force or try to force Rob Fowler to draw, direct reference to that draw against the 4 when he came up light?
He's had a few this week and has had amazing hits, and you don't want to leave him that. We saw that probably the best against Alberta. It was everything made by Rob Fowler, so Craig will be one of those trying to get that closed down and not give him an open hit or a hit and roll to get Ontario into trouble.
Clean.
Ice has a hair more curl in practice than we've seen all week. Just a fraction more, a couple of inches.
Whoa, Derek. Whoa. Yep, control it. Sorry.
We're always interested to see how long that lasts, to see if it's related to fresh pebble or if it is something about the ice and stones that just is a little bit different with this different airflow in this building today.
Well, the other thing is it's the one game today. You know, most of the week, most of the round robin, there are 3 draws a day. The building gets hot. there is a definite coolness to the building today, despite the temperature here in Saskatoon reaching about +5. It was they managed to keep the building cool, so maybe that, Russ, will mean something when it comes to the ice.
Oh, it certainly does. This is Hans Vutric and his wonderful crew here would love to have one game a day if they had their druthers, because it's so much easier to manage, and that's why there's a little more curl, and there's a mistake already by an overcurl.
Yeah, Brent Lang
this is pretty good.
gets caught.
Top 4. 5-6.
Hans Vutric on the left. He will make the ice at the Men's World Championships. Canada will be representing in Basel, Switzerland, March 31st through April 8th. The gentleman on the right, Jamie Barassa, he will be making the ice at the Ford Women's Worlds. That will begin next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, in Lethbridge.
We're blessed in this country with the best ice makers in the entire world, but those are two of the best right there.
Yep, finish it.
And around goes the Manitoba second, Richard Deneau, but he just slips it back the tee line, back of the button.
That was not quite bored. Just, yeah.
It's one thing Ontario does, I think, more than any other team that played this week is on this shot right here. Instead of throwing the freeze is great because Manitoba can't get it out, but Manitoba comes on top. You're shrinking that scoring area and your chance to score too. This opens up the whole 12 feet and that corner guard to be used.
Yep. You gotta go with that. You gotta go. Get it out a couple feet anyway.
I think in watching Ontario in the game and draw 17 last night, that was the key shot for them, and they were so smooth about it. Sometimes it seems a little panicky when that shot is played, that you're not sure how much it will curl. You're worried about that center line guard. Those rocks came down, and it was dust on off with the brushing and perfectly played. Probably Rob Fowler isn't happy about that because it was on this very sheet.
Hard! Whoa! Yep! Whoa! Whoa! Yep! Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! Whoa!
Well, we mentioned the big win by Manitoba over Alberta to give them this spot in the second place. That was a turnaround game. Well, maybe it happened a little earlier on Wednesday, Brian.
Vic, if you talk to this team, they actually say the turning point at this tournament was the game against the Yukon Northwest Territories. At one point, Rob Fowler had to draw against 4. He made the shot. The very next end, they ended up stealing 4. And that's when Lyburn said he saw a difference in his skipper. Everything clicked, and they got the momentum. They also compared this week to the week where they dominated at provincials as well in Manitoba. Didn't have the greatest start, but they got the momentum, and then obviously they've rolled now to this 1-2 game. And a quick injury update, talked with Craig Saville before this one. He obviously had intravenous fighting the flu. He says he's good to go, 100% symptom-free. Vic?
Yeah, 5 times he had to take intravenous fluids this week as the flu made its way around. Pat Simmons, most notably for Alberta the third. That was a big Wednesday. Sorry, Linda, that was a big Wednesday for them, Manitoba, because they played the Territories in the afternoon, picked it up there, and then rode that momentum into that win over Kevin Cooey on Wednesday night. This was a big scrub here, get it by. Oh, great rush. Samogalski. Oh, and they hang it in the back 12.
That's what I talked about in practice. There's definitely it's a little crisper, a little more curl, and they almost lost that. Great brushing.
Well, it's a very nice shot, very nice brushing to get it by. The only negative part about it would look where it's sitting. It's behind the tee line, behind a red guard, and Glenn Howard has lots of room to try and now draw into the spot in front of it.
Only if it's light. Pretty good.
Not bad.
Close. Should be there, though. Yeah, gotta go. Line's good. Whoa.
We're there.
Whoa, then. Whoa. Wait only.
All the way to it.
Wait only. Clean it. Yep. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go line. Yep. You gotta go line. You gotta go line. You gotta
Trying to prevent the overcurl here and drag it down and put it on the corner. And there it is. Shot stone. Ontario here in the first. So for Fowler and Manitoba, as we say, they open with the loss, then 3 wins, loss, win, loss. Okay, that loss to Ontario. There is what Brian was referring to. That win, 10-5 over the Territories, followed that up with the win against Alberta, closed with wins yesterday, and that's why at 8-3, they get the number 2 spot.
nice positioning of that rock. They wanted to make sure it didn't over curl. That's why it went a little deeper. But yeah, look at the broom moving over again. More ice for Rob.
Yeah.
You're looking at well over 6 feet of ice for curl here.
So this is different, is it?
More so, certainly more than you'd see halfway through a game. And this will straighten out as it goes along too. But yes, I think this is the most curl we've seen all week.
9.
So another factor, the team that figures this out first, able to handle it the best.
No, guys.
Skip Stones here in one. Ontario with last rock. Boy, is this going to bend now? Did they take too much ice here?
No, it's the weight. It's heavy.
Well, and it'll slide off and roll and then stop in time.
Just a pound heavy, eh?
87.
Yeah.
Pretty much. What'd you get, like a 85 or something?
It may not look like a lot heavy because it comes up against the other yellow stone, but that is iced for brushing weight. When you throw it there, even a little heavy to begin with, but you throw it there without brushing, you don't get the curl.
For Ontario and Glenn Howard, the record 10-1. The only loss to the Territories and Jamie Coon, who qualifies the Territories for the very first time at Brier. And as we mentioned, 5 of his games going to an extra end. %, in round robin #1, but you said it's the last 2 games that were very impressive.
That's when you saw it in his eyes and knew that slide was the smooth slide of a champion. He has really played well in the last few games.
Now he makes the double, but he needs to hold the shooter, and he can't.
Wayne just tried to hair too hard to keep some separation there.
I'm trying to roll a foot.
Oh, I know.
I don't think it matters really if you're an experienced Brier participant. You're in this game and you're trying your best, and sometimes that intensity means you get a little panicky on things like brushing, and that's what Wayne Madaw did on that one. Just a little excited in the first end.
And they're hard to control too. You yell, whoa, it bends a bit, sets up an easy double or a freeze, and you can't blank the end.
Same ice, just a little less weight? Yeah, just a little less.
And in truth, it's back to what you want to leave the opponent. I guess of the two, you'd rather that Rob was trying to draw again than hit.
Right weight, it'll curl the half rock that we need.
You can actually see half of the red on the outturn side. Haven't played it at all, so Rob's going to go to the shot he's tried.
Hey, Rob.
The spot's getting pretty fast.
Just a few feet less would be good, eh?
Yeah.
Maybe Rock's been down here for a while.
Are you going right down to it, or?
Yeah, you want to lock it right on so we get the force on here.
Okay.
Trying to force Ontario to take a single. Rob Fowler and his last.
Yep, it's pretty good. Just line.
Need an 8-9, guys.
It's good.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa, guys.
Right to it. Line's good.
Whoa. It's good. 8. Whoa. Looks heavier than that.
Whoa.
He tried to pull back. He actually said he wanted to pull it back a pound or so. Now it needs to cut and curl for him. And now that little bit of separation. Can you get across the nose, push it back, and score the 2, Russ?
Well, if anybody can, it's this team Ontario. They love these soft shots, but it is right in behind that guard, dead buried. I'm right behind it, and it's there because there's space, but it has to be perfect speed.
Right?
Yep.
Could go out turn too, eh?
There. Hack.
Yeah, this is easier, I think.
Well, you heard somebody at the other end say, what about going the out turn rather than going on the left side of that guard? What about going on the right side of that guard?
I think it's there for sure, Vic, because you can see a little bit more of it on that side, and you don't have to clear it by the reds. You'd have to only hit half, but they just don't know that spot. So this is the spot, you know, and all the top curlers, when you have a choice, you're going to throw the one you're confident with.
Final stone right now. Manitoba is sitting one.
Yep, you gotta go.
Did he get it started here?
Whoa.
Lang Saville, they're going to really have to feather that corner guard now. Big chance here for a deuce. Close to the guard, they did that. Got to get across the nose then to push it back. Avoid the jam. Push it out. There's your deuce to start. Glenn Howard picks up his team in that first when Russ, I thought maybe Ontario was a little nervous. We saw the miss from Brent Lang, and then the missed call by Wayne Madaw, and then he comes through with a key shot.
Yeah, this is dead buried, and I know I'm sure Rob knows it, but I know it. I've played with this guy. This is his favorite shot. They've got the brushers that judge it so well. Wayne stayed off it, slivers the guard, just finishes enough.
And got away with the tick to score 2 in the first. And so Ontario
Finish 2. Beauty.
with a couple.
Beauty.
And now Manitoba here in the second. And the team from the Brandon Curling Club will have the last drop. They have the hammer playing the Yellowstones. As we welcome you back, it's the Tim Hortons Brier. It's the playoff weekend here at the Credit Union Center in Saskatoon.
Stop. Up.
Eric Samogolski throwing the lead stones.
Well, as I always do, I'm going to keep track of those corner guards, every guard actually, to see if they're actually utilized to help with the scoring. In that end, it was the corner guard position by Ontario that did eventually get used and generated the extra point. Here the corner guard is in play for Manitoba, but it is a little tighter. And I'll have to see if that can be used effectively to get the extra point. Double made, got rid of the 2 in the house.
You know, I didn't think about that actually yet. You don't see it. The point Lynn is making about that corner guard, you don't see many points generated in today's game around a corner. Everything is that, you know, centralized race to the middle of the forefoot.
And we talked about it too, Vic, and that's glad you brought that up, because I mentioned when Glenn, there was one back forefoot partially buried. Instead of freezing to it and try to create a miss, they bumped it right out, and then they had the whole paint, the whole 12 feet to use, and that allowed them to get around that corner guard eventually.
See,
Easy.
he's glad that I'm here.
We all are glad you're
Yes,
here,
I know.
Vic.
Thank you.
All the way to it. All the way to it. Good. Good shot. Trevor.
Would you rather nose hit it or get them both?
Could do that.
I like the double.
Getting in. That's good. Okay.
Why? Why do you like it?
Well, if you hit it dead on, Rob's going to go around that corner guard eventually.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's a yellow one, so then Ontario, if they make it successfully, Ontario would then be running the wrong color into the ring. So if you could trade colors here, it would really help.
Yep. Hard. Real hard.
Hard.
Gotta go, guys.
Hard.
Gotta go. Gotta
Real
go.
hard.
Gotta go. Go, 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 go. Okay, that's fine.
Right there.
There it is. Rob has to go around it trying to generate the 2, but if he makes it successfully, it's a pretty short run back.
Should be 6, 7.
7, I think.
Get ready. It's a little tight. Just line.
Oh, then. Might be
7, 8. A little heavy. It's heavy.
Stay close.
Just line.
Oh, you
We're
got
heavy.
lots of room. Lots of room. Lots of room.
8, 9. 8, 9.
Stay with
Richard
it,
Deneau.
It's heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy. Whoa.
Okay,
And we'll
that's
go
fine.
through.
Go.
Really?
I think it's deal. Or you
I
split
really
ours.
don't think the speed has changed.
Sure,
I do
skip.
think
It's a
that
skip
that is
shot.
just the fact that you're in a big playoff game and you're getting that extra kick. I'm timing those at 13.5 seconds hog to hog, and it should be 14.5.
Hard. No, I read it.
At a minimum,
Whoa,
rushing
whoa.
can make it, of course, go further.
Good.
You're going to get punished if you don't get around there the first time, and there goes the guard.
Boy, Wayner. Boy, Wayne.
And that to me is the elite level. Like you went for a walk today through downtown Saskatoon, and it's a pleasure to be here and have people want to talk about the game. And for the general public who club curl and watch this, it is the one missed shot that kills your chance. That shot going deep run the guard. Now what do you do if you're Fowler?
Yeah, you hope now. You just keep throwing them up and hope for a mistake. But how many times you can see Wayne Madaw miss a peel? This will be the last one he can throw, Vic, because if he throws another one, Glenn might go around it and try to force Manitoba to a single.
Way quicker than we've seen all week.
Yeah. Like that was like you can probably throw like a 10 or something.
Yeah, hard. All day hard. Gotta go. Really hard. Gotta go, guys. Really hard. Gotta go. Really gotta hard. Go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Go, Sal. Get it in.
Yep. Keep going.
Keep it good. That's good. That's good.
Perfect.
Well, they got lucky that that guard was as tight as it was, so they could roll in on the mistake by Wayne, being a little inside and not rolling all the way out.
Hey?
Bring the back one into play. If he rolls the center line.
Nice.
Alan Lyburn.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
He's been bothered by a bad back.
Hard. Hard.
Avoids the jam at the back. Had to see a chiropractor in Brandon before coming to Saskatoon. And now while here, guess who's been helping him? The curling chiropractor, Pat Simmons,
Throw, Alan.
who's actually been working with him and helping him. But knowing that, we'll have to watch Alan, because if Alan and Manitoba play Alberta and Alan comes out looking like a pretzel, then we'll know that maybe something is up.
A boat just came into Saskatoon. What? A boat just landed in Saskatoon.
Yep.
Whoa. We talk about experience. There's a lot going on in this arena, but you can just see by those eyes, Glenn Howard is not bothered by the stir.
What?
Peels it out.
Boy, skipper.
Yep.
Reason. Crap shot. Yeah. It's just.
Yeah, it should, just a sliver more.
See them come in?
Yeah, just so. Yeah. Hey?
Oh, jeez.
Are they packing?
Well, this group here, they're called the Sociables. They're out of Calgary, and every draw or every day they come dressed in different outfits. Yesterday it was the referees, soccer referees. They come in Scottish garb, and today obviously they somehow found a way to take a boat to the arena here in Saskatoon.
Well, the ice and snow is melting out there,
true.
so you never know.
Line.
What?
But they do add a lot of
Where is it? 10.
a lot of character, a lot of fun to the audience.
Wait on it, Derek. Line's
Need
pretty
back
good.
and
Coming down.
Line's pretty good.
No.
Stay with it.
Wait,
Line's
hey,
really
wait,
good.
okay.
Try to use every rock you
Line's
can.
good.
There's one just outside at the back.
Hard. No bump, no bump.
Trying to freeze to it.
Whoa.
Okay, Robbie. Lost line.
Great try. It really broke once it got to the top of the 12th across the center line. It broke in a hurry.
But it's nice in the first end, Rob's draws were a little heavy, and that's a tough one. That's one of those footprint draw drills that we try to say you have to get it exactly in that footprint or it's not going to be effective. So the weight was very close, just a little bit too much curl.
Clean, yep.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yep. Clean, just clean, just clean. Whoa, just clean. Just clean.
Bad boy, Glenn. Bad boy.
This Credit Union Center has changed since the last time we were here. They've added seats. It seats now about 15,000 and change. And it's the home, of course, of the Saskatoon Blades of the Western Hockey League. Interestingly enough, Saskatoon is on a 6-game road trip. Their final 2 games are tonight and tomorrow in Brandon. And isn't it interesting? The Brandon Curling Club is playing tonight here in Saskatoon.
Yeah, weight was perfect. Thought I slid a little fast and
The throw through results in a blank, but it go right back to that stone from Manitoba second Richard Deneau that led to this blank. Think you're a hotshot? Well, log on to FordHotshots.curling.ca. And if you're on target, you could win a lease on a brand new Ford Focus S. Here in Saskatoon, every Brier participant had the chance as well by taking part in the Ford Hot Shots final, coming down to a Battle of Ontario. Easy, fellas. Wayne Madaw stuffing Craig Saville. And then in the end, it was experience over youth as Madaw stuffed him on the ice to become the Ford Hot Shots champion. His prize, a 2-year lease on this beautiful Ford Focus Titanium. Log on to fordhotshots.curling.ca and give it your best shot. And just like Wayne Madaw, you could drive away in a brand new Ford. It's the 1-2-page playoff game. It's the 2012 Tim Hortons Brier, Ontario. Opened with a couple last rock in the first. Manitoba couldn't get anything generated in the second, so a blank on the board. Here in 3, it will once again be Manitoba that has the last rock. They have the hammer, playing the Yellowstones.
So the choice was to bring both of those in, and the corner guard is up very wide this time. Same turn that Glenn Howard played to get his extra point in the first end.
Coming down, Ron. Still got room. 7. Still got room. Line's good.
Slow handle should finish.
Line's good. Lock it on. No. Line's good. Lock it on. Line's real good. Out of the way, Derek. Good shot.
At this stage of the competition, the teams can choose stones from any sheet, any combination they want. And when you look at the stones that Ontario chose, well, the best as far as shooting percentages go on the red side were from sheet A. And that was a percentage of 83%. They actually won 13 out of 16 games played on sheet A. So that's definitely a place you would start looking. And then it is based on comfort of the players and which ones they really liked in round robin play.
Really close for weight, boys.
Right 2. Got a curl.
Okay. Weight looks good. Weight looks there.
Yep. Got to go to bump. Yep.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Line only. It's there. It's there. It's there.
Whoa.
It's there. It's to
Whoa.
it.
You can't.
To it.
Got to go to bump.
Whoa.
It doesn't matter. You got to let it curl.
Curl.
Just popped it in here. That's fine.
Okay.
Well, so now Manitoba with that little bump is shot stone, remembering they do have last rock.
For Manitoba, they had a little more choice as far as stats go and shooting percentages. They chose from B, C, and D. On B and C, the Stones had an 84% shooting percentage over round robin play and the majority of the wins. So they did go to those sheets for 5 of the 8 Stones they chose for this playoff game.
And nothing from sheet A.
Yes, it lost most of the games. It only won 3 out of 16, and the shooting percentage for the yellow on sheet A was the lowest at 80 overall.
Wow. They know the,
Weight's good. Weight's good. Weight's good.
again, at this level, it's remarkable. They just know the Stones that well.
You have to be careful when you're doing that, though, Vic, because you might have, the skip might have 2 favorites from A and the vice might have 2 favorites from B, and they're matched, but are they matched with the skips rocks when you put them all together? So they had time this morning to throw rocks and rematch and make sure that their 8 favorites actually line up.
You like that?
Okay. Yeah, it could still tap. Is that better?
Get rid of that one, too.
It could still tap.
That is quite a line of stones
could
there.
Tap. Is that any better?
It's not bad. All right.
Try whatever you want.
Yeah.
Throw a board.
Board.
Oh.
Ooh. I was thinking like a foot.
Difference of opinion here, whether you hit or whether you just move them a little bit to rearrange the angle.
Wayne's going to go down, and we've said all week, this is something that Glenn Howard doesn't mind. He appreciates the input from
If we're going
all
to take this out, we might as well drill it.
Drill it.
Yeah, like this shot. The first shot you call.
Yeah, we got to get rid of this, right?
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that.
And the only reason we play the tap is to just to leave this back here, but I still think it's going to be lined up properly.
Totally
right?
going to be lined up. It's horrible.
Yeah, so try and.
That's the way out.
That's the right call.
I think
so.
so.
That's the right call.
Back to the original thought of moving the one at the top 12 angled into the pack.
No more than half to stick it.
No more than half?
To stick it, yeah.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, right off.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Waiter. There we go.
And he does.
Beauty.
Good shot.
remove the backing. Shot stone is still Manitoba, but that guard is now gone. However, there is still the wide corner. Couple of questions, Russ, about the stones. Just maybe a simple question here. But if you choose from another,
Nice weight.
take from A and we're playing on C, will those stones react similarly on C?
Well, that's another great question. That's 2 for you, Vic. That's a lot of times the surfaces on the outside sheets are a little warmer because of the airflow in a big arena like this. So you might play on A on a Wednesday night or something and say, well, these rocks curl more. When you bring them over today to a middle sheet, they won't curl as much. So you have to be careful. Trying to get it behind the corner.
Right over.
Oh, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Second question.
Oh my goodness.
No, just because I'm curious. Can you equate it with other sports? Is it like a batter with his a personal bat, or is it a golfer with balls he chooses? Is it something similar to that?
Most definitely, no question about it, and it's because of the skill level of these players. If you take a PGA player or an LPGA player, you could blindfold them, they could tell you what brand of golf ball they're hitting, whereas the club golfer cannot. And these small differences in the rocks are undetectable to the average curler.
Off! Right off! Right off! Right off!
Into the yellow. It's going into the yellow.
Okay.
Yeah, it is going into the yellow.
That's
They
good.
got it surrounded now. So the roll didn't hide very much of that Manitoba stone.
Get a bit. You need back button. You get to that one.
Kind of weight do you want?
Just 8, 9.
Back 4, back 8.
I think we need back.
Just back 4.
We need back 4, yeah.
Back 4, Al.
It's a tough shot because you don't want to remove your own yellow, so they're just going to tap the red back a little bit, try to be as close as they can to the center line, and not set some type of double up for the next shot for Ontario.
It's very difficult because proximity is going to be there. They're going to be close together, so the angle has to be good.
Yeah. Hard. Whoa. Hard. Whoa. 8. Roll it. Yep. Roll it. Right out of there. Right out of there.
Okay. Weight was perfect, right?
Good throw.
Right? Yeah. This is going nowhere right now.
No.
Feel it?
Feel it.
Well.
Noses that again. Hit roll under. Can I roll under?
Yeah, I don't want to rattle those too much. You can.
Well, if you touch it and move it even a little more, it's even
Wanna try
better.
that?
Right?
Okay.
Just the same board?
Same
I don't
turn?
care which turn. Whatever turn you want, but I think just try and roll in behind it.
Wait.
I think you got to roll behind.
Yeah?
Try and roll behind.
You could also hit that top red one.
Yeah, it would angle over. Interesting conversation because that does look like a possible double using your own, but Glenn's point was he actually doesn't want to move the one red because it's positioned in front of the other yellow. So taking a little risk here.
Wayne's made everything so far, so he's in that zone.
Whoa. Close. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Maybe a fraction heavy.
Whoa. Savvy. Go. Go. Go.
All right. Pretty good.
Good shot. It's pretty good, Wayne. Nice toss.
Thanks. Right on the nose is fine. Just roll a corner rock. It's good.
Okay.
Go, Bob.
Okay.
That's pretty good. I'm not sure what he does. That's good.
This is one of those where you say, I think it looks pretty good, and then you wait because sometimes it doesn't look quite as nice when the opposition is finished.
It's going to be tough not to set up a yellow double here, though, when Allen's finished.
Alan Liburn throwing the third stones for Manitoba. They do have the last rock. Here in 3.
Hard.
And he'll move his own back, and it is Ontario. It sits 3 now.
That was a huge overcurl.
Certainly was.
Solved? Just a little tight.
Maybe it's a little quiet when it got down here too, eh?
Let's go back to what you said earlier in your game plan. If you're Ontario,
yeah, I kind of like
you're
that.
piling them up in there, Linda.
What's that?
Run this.
And it just sets it
Rob
up.
Fowler going to maybe have to draw here.
Well, at the moment, not. There's still
right now-
room to make something happen for him. But you're right,
You don't
Vic.
want him
If
to get
it
rid of a couple of your edge ones
stays
here,
like
that's the
this, he's
problem.
going to be facing a few in that 4-foot.
I guess if you guard this, there's no double. But then
Which two can you get rid of? Because this one,
well, you can get rid of these two.
you hit it, and maybe touch it and come back.
No,
But if he
maybe
touches
off
it,
this.
it goes over to here.
He can't get that double off the 6.
Problem is
No
with
way.
making this, then he can stick that right on top of us.
And make the triple probably. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I don't want to move that up any. I don't mind being in front of this one. Right there.
Okay.
I like that too.
Do you want to play it tight? Because he's going to throw that in-turn come around and freeze to it, right?
That's fine.
Right here. Right
Yep,
there.
right there.
In or out?
In.
In. Bite, guys. Bite
Yeah,
the 12,
top,
right?
top 12, just short.
Yeah, it's got to guard center line side. Yeah. Feels risky.
Trying to take away this shot here because there's an easy double right there, and when now all of a sudden there's 3 yellow in the rings and only 1 red, so they're going to bring it into the rings, and you don't want to leave it too long either, because that'll allow Rob Fowler some room to freeze in with his yellow one and force a tough shot out of Ontario.
You know better than anybody.
They probably want to go top 8, Linda, I would say.
It's good. Yeah, speed's normal
In
here.
the rings for sure.
Let's have a look.
You know that Rob wants to blast.
Yeah.
That's one thing you want to be careful of, not bringing it too
There,
close.
maybe. Real close. We're going to have to go a bit.
Room.
Line's okay.
No, it's there.
Line's good. Line's good.
Room.
Line's good. Just to my broom. Got a curl. Got a curl. Got a curl bit.
It's real good.
Skip Stones here in 3. Glenn Howard.
Oh, at the end.
It's real
Just
good.
at the end, at the very end. At the very end.
We're there.
Yep. Yep.
Go, 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 go.
Yep.
Attaboy.
Pretty good.
Real
Real
good,
good.
skipper.
I'll say it again. I really like the way this team works together and communicates. You have Wayne putting the broom down in the position he wants the rock to land. The brushers can look up and down and see that. They're judging the weight, and it was nice judgment again by those two, Brent and Craig. And then you also have a final line call by Wayne if it needs to come over. So they work so well together.
Yeah.
That's the key, is Wayne just doing line calls, not speed.
Langers ran a bit there.
Yeah,
Right?
it doesn't go much. I said when it happened, I should have said. I said to the guys, I think it might be up a little too much ice.
Or you could just run the 1 over top of the 3 and maybe triple them out, right?
You wouldn't stick a shooter, but
Well, wouldn't be the end of the world. What do you think? You want to try and lift, take these 3 out of here?
well, it's either you do that or you play like a hack weight
Yeah.
kind of roll.
Well, the problem is, depends where we put this. He's got this to knock
Well,
it
if
into
I
the
play
side.
hack weight and it happens to just squirt through the hole and he goes around,
Yeah, then you
we're in
push.
huge trouble. The other shot is hack weight here, hitting flaws, but if I ever rub this...
I don't
then
mind
we
hitting
have
the
a
1
shot.
because it's keeping it
Okay.
open, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's clean it up. Could get a 2-on-1 situation in the house here, so... Half is pretty close, eh? Just a shade over.
This would be ideal, but it's
probably-
so
yeah, you
dangerous.
gotta
You don't
catch
get it in the right
here.
spot. You put it something like that, it gives Ontario an in off, and then they're in major trouble. So A, they're going to open it
Yes,
up,
make
and
it half.
they could potentially make a triple here.
I think we have to because we don't really have much
I
right
don't
now.
think they'd save the shooter, but they're not too worried about that at this point. A lot of red in there.
They need more space for Rob. He wants to play the hit. And you heard Alan in the 3rd saying, we need more room.
Just hitting it a little on the center line side, just a hair off center.
Rob Fowler
Yep.
and his first.
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh, and he drives it by everything. Didn't quite get enough of the red out. Probably was hoping for more, would you think? Was he trying to drive it in?
Oh, yeah, had to bend a little bit more. That's all he wanted. Not much, and it would have sent 3 reds moving. Whether they would have got them out or not, it's hard to say.
That's that center line path where I think they're always a little concerned about how much ice to take. Is it going to run? Is it going to curl a little bit if it gets to center?
Yeah, because if he
Well,
hits the skinny, he goes into the back when he gets shot.
That's real skinny there.
That's pretty darn good.
The rock kind of takes away a lot
That's
of
pretty
that.
darn good, right there. As long as he can't get a whole
He'll
bunch of
see
them.
a couple of inches of air on either side. What about right here?
Then it's easier.
Then he just comes
whips
off
it.
either
Then
one.
he
Yeah,
whips it,
true
comes
enough.
off
Yeah,
the
something
back.
like that.
Okay?
Give him a choice.
Is there anywhere we can't be? There's not going to be a quad no matter where we put it,
No.
unless we put it here.
That's the only bad spot.
I think that's the spot, guys. Just try to put it
You
right
can
there.
be as
Yeah,
deep.
I agree.
You can touch the 4, right? You can be as deep as half 4.
Okay.
But you want to be full 8.
I think so.
I just love those discussions because you're sitting 3, you're going to throw a guard somewhere, but there's the optimum spot, and there's so many teams you see just fire one down their guard, the closest one to the button, and hope for the best. They want this on the X to make it as tough as possible.
Same weight's fine.
So center line, top edge of the 4-foot. They'd have 4 around the 4.
More.
Easy, yeah, easy. 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 Yep.
Line's good.
Gotta go wait.
Row.
Gotta go.
So much now depending on Saville and Lang.
Looks heavy.
Oh.
Looks heavy. No, 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 no.
Wow. Sit.
A little extra brushing.
Sorry, Coach.
Good.
You don't see that very often.
Takes it to the edge of the top edge of the button.
Great toss.
That's good. Slid better there.
Slid good there.
Yeah.
Well, it's either that or make the triple. I don't know what triple's there. I think it jams.
No, I don't think
I
so.
think a triple jams. You've got to get thin enough to get that, otherwise you're going to go out over the top. To make the double on these two, you're just going to go and do that.
Yeah, I don't.
It's real thin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then it jams, you hit it thin. Then you got to play this, just hit and flop into the pile.
Proper weight?
Yep.
Rob was lining up the
That
one
was
I
all
was
sweeping too.
trying to describe there with the peel weight top one. You'd make the left-hand double for sure. Would it come back on that back rock?
Okay.
Don't think it would. It would slide right through the hole. So they're going to try to hit this one on the tee line left-hand side of the center and roll onto the button. Tough shot.
Even for the best hitters, and Rob is one of the best, you do not want to be hitting with any weight against rocks all clustered around the 4-foot. This is a very difficult shot.
Even dead on might give up a at least 1, possibly 2. You have to roll a shade.
We are only in the 3rd. Ontario leads it 2-0, but maybe a game-saving shot here for Manitoba. And Rob Fowler facing 4-0 yet from Semagalski or Deneau. Nothing yet. Got to come over. Got to come over. Oh, and he'll get 2 at the back, but it will be a steal of 2 for Ontario. It just wouldn't curl up for him.
Easy, maybe. That's firm on that. Because he good knows this one.
Last night is an evening that I will remember for an awfully long time, and one of the reasons was this. Jamie Cooey and his team from the Territories out of the Yellowknife Curling Club playing British Columbia. And this tap right there would give them 3 more. They go on to win as their dad, Fred Cooey, celebrates his 65th birthday. And for the very first time, the Territories are into the playoffs. And there is Jamie tonight, along with his coach, Terry Shea, alongside. And 7-4, and they will play Alberta. It will be the brother battle again. That's the 3-4 page playoff. We'll have that for you Saturday afternoon, 2:30 Eastern time. It'll be Kevin Cooey from Calgary, Jamie Cooey from Yellowknife, as our coverage of the Tim Hortons Brier continues. Manitoba's in a hole, aren't they? Give up 2, give up a steal of 2, and now it's 4-0. And Manitoba and the team from the Brandon Curling Club, skipped by Rob Fowler, will have the last rock one more time here in 4. They'll have the Yellowstones.
What a huge contrast that end to the one where Ontario set up their deuce. Ontario set up the deuce, putting up a corner guard and played taps and rolls to keep the house wide open. That last end for Rob, he tried angle freezes and tried to keep it a little close down to start, and then he got caught with all those rocks in the 4-foot. It was actually a lot of misses. It wasn't just Rob's 2, but he got caught in that cluster and could not get out of trouble.
Good. Throw Langer.
Yeah, the 2 for Ontario, and it ended up being a tough shot for Glenn, but he had the whole 12 feet to work with, and it's a lot easier to score 2 points if you've got all the circles as opposed to just playing around that 4-foot.
Should be there, eh? Yeah, weight's good. A little heavy, maybe. No. A little heavy.
But Russ, you see, to my mind, look, everything's now, the corner has gone up again, right? That's the yellow stone.
Yep.
If you're Manitoba and Fowler, and another corner goes up, are you to ignore those stones, those red rocks, top 4, and on the button, and just go to the corner and say, you know what, Ontario, you just play over there and I'm going to play over here? How can you do that?
Well, the theory being here that you want to create a tough shot for Ontario. So the best way to do it is use the 3 guard zone to your advantage. Throw a rock up there. It can't be removed until this 5th stone that's just came down there from Lang. And now they either make a move on the red ones or they'll eventually go around the corner. And Linda's point was a good one, that they never did try to go around the corner. So they could do it right now, Vic. They could leave those reds because that's a simple double they can make later, go around that corner right now and create a mistake. I will guarantee you, if you buried around that corner,
should be 9.
Team Ontario is going to run up there and peel that guard. At least you have one in the rings there.
10. Right off. Well, we're seeing 10.
And when we talk about tapping the rocks that are in the rings, first of all, the precision of making that shot is really tough. We're not really sure where to put down the broom at this place of the game, and you get that kind of shot continuing to roll away. You're not going to get anything started in that house.
Yeah, break.
Hard.
Just clean.
Wayne Madon.
Just clean. Just clean.
Gotta let it settle, eh?
Right?
Gotta let that settle.
That's funny. Looks tight and they back up.
Yeah.
Talk about Wayne's motion. He's got a slight outward motion. He throws it so hard it actually drifts a bit. It won't start curling. You see, the initial reaction is we better sweep it because it's a shade tight, but it comes back every time.
Well, this is interesting as they play third stones, Alan Liburn. Yep. They're going to try to use the corner, Linda, but hit and roll them.
They are trying to hit and roll to leave a little more room for Robbie, but precision again is required. Have to get over there.
So now trying to roll it. They avoid the jam at the back, but it won't get behind the corner. You see Brian Fowler on the left. William Liburn is the 5th player. Brian is the coach, and of course it was back in '87 that Brian represented Manitoba at the Tim Hortons Brier. 25 years later, here's his son.
Okay,
And it will hang around.
Maybe. Not terrible.
No.
That's important that it hangs around
little,
because
Wayne,
it could force Manitoba to take a single.
This is pretty good.
Round the corner.
You still could go around that corner guard. It certainly would beat out the second shot that's in there at the back 12.
Well, more.
It's pretty good. 6.
Whoa, guys. Whoa, whoa. It's 6. Whoa.
Line's good.
It's going to curl.
5.
It's going to curl.
Everything's
Just
been heavy in this spot.
Guys. Whoa, whoa.
Weight's good.
Looks heavy.
Whoa,
Weight's good. Weight's good.
It's heavy. Leave it alone.
Just,
Leave it alone.
Right
just
off.
7.
Right off.
Yep.
We're deep, Rob, by itself.
As long as it's full 12.
Hard.
Okay.
And full 12 it is.
Super quick. That's what's his handle, huh? You're losing
Yeah, the rotation thing we've talked about all week. Now, some people think that extra rotation is a little bit of a problem, but in my book, a little more is better than a little less, because if you lose the turn, as we've seen actually in a couple of cases, even Alberta last night, having a rock lose its turn, you are not going to get the buried rock that you need out of it. So you have to make sure you've got enough rotation on this arena ice with these stones.
We've seen quite a few this week in the last 6-8 feet make up their mind to go the other direction. And that's devastating. You cannot bury a rock with zero handle.
Yep. Yep.
So here we go. Skip Stones in the fourth.
Whoa.
Glenn Howard, he's up 4-0.
Close. Yep. 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 Whoa. 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 Shut, Glenn. Sit.
Starting to pile up red at the back.
Good spot. Cross. Good freeze.
Thanks, guys.
Center line side.
I would stay on the center line side of this.
Yeah, must have straightened out a little bit in this spot already.
Yeah.
Try there. Yep.
Another great little tip when you're playing shots like that. It was an easy shot for Glenn, but he rolled to a good spot. If you just hit it dead on and stayed here, then when Manitoba freezes on the corner, it's tough to remove it. Now, wherever this yellow one goes, whether you're on this side or you're on this side, it will clear.
305 to tee now, or is it still?
Yeah, 305.
Okay. Just glue it on there, guys.
And so now Fowler with his first as the wave starts to make its way around the Credit Union Center. He's trying what? To come down, freeze to the face?
Just freeze right to it, and it has to be dead perfect.
And how tough are these now? We've said this.
Well, this is the challenge. You fall behind in a game and your shots are going to get more difficult. And I've already mentioned that Rob likes to try and generate extra points with big hits and rolls. These freezes are difficult to begin with, and they have to be perfect.
Samagalski, Deneau backed right off.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yep, on the corner of it.
Doesn't get there. Remember what you said, Russ, about the difference in the ice, and I suggested that that's maybe the X factor in this game. A little different to start, maybe what we've seen all week, one sheet and play, and then the first team to pick up on it. It appears that Ontario has Manitoba not.
So many playoff games for Team Ontario. They have a massive advantage. The ice is a little bit quicker, and it was a little swingier to start with. Now it's straightening out a bit, and Rob got caught a little bit on that one.
Hard. Hard. Hard.
Final
hard.
stone, Ontario.
Hard. Whoa. Whoa.
And he'll jam it at the back, lose one at the back, but it still will be Manitoba facing three.
I know.
Won't be happy with that one. It makes it a little easier for Rob. He's got some backing, but that was the job at the start of the end, was to try to force a single. Yeah, Manitoba's definitely, Vic, been caught. So we saw it in the first end. Rob was 5 feet heavy, then a couple feet heavy, then Richard threw around the corner guard in the second end through the rings. It's just you either shade fast or it's a bit of adrenaline, one or the other, maybe both.
And the crowd again sensing that this is a
what was that, Rich?
Well, granted, a draw against three and everything's back at the tee line, but they'd like to see Manitoba get back into it, make it a game here in 4.
Tee line, guys.
A little more. A little more.
Where is it?
Cut down the ice a little bit on this one.
Whoa.
9.
So I thought Samagalski or Deneau thinking it might be a little heavy. All on its own.
Yep. Clean it.
Now the brush to just keep it clean. To pick up their first point, Manitoba here in 4.
Sure straightened up there, though, Oh.
The Tim Hortons Brier at the Credit Union Center here in Saskatoon. We'll wind it up on Sunday with the championship, the gold medal game. We'll preview it 7:30 Eastern Time, the Tim Hortons Brier Championship Special. 30 minutes leading up to the gold medal game in Ontario right now with a 4-1 lead. The winner will go right through this Sunday's final. Manitoba picks up their first point in the 4th. So Ontario will have the last rock. They have the Hammer playing the Redstones here in 5.
Line's good.
So if you're Manitoba, Linda.
Yeah, I got to go a bit.
And you're looking for positives.
Line's good.
Were there some?
Line's real good.
Was there a positive in that 4th?
Push it, Wiener.
Well, it's hard to find them. Obviously, making the last shot was a big positive, or you would have been in very deep trouble. But it's difficult because in the opportunities that Manitoba has had to try and generate the points, everything has come back to the middle. And that's what I was mentioning, that Rob didn't want to have that happen in this game. It's a combination of nice shots by Ontario and misses by Manitoba, but it's been that cluster back in the middle, and then he's trying to generate points without a guard. We know how difficult that is. And now that he's way behind, it's going to be guards and a lot of risk for Manitoba to get back in this game.
Hard. Hard, guys. Hard. Oh, get it in the line. Okay, Derek.
I think I threw that later.
Good throw.
Yeah, we talked about the no fear and the aggressive play out of Rob Fowler, and you have to commend him for that. But I would suggest that Glenn's one of the more defensive teams here. And everybody thinks they're an aggressive team because they like the soft shots. But they will pick their spots.
You got to get it out.
I can play hack.
Solid hack.
Okay.
Here's a good example here. You know, a lot of teams that start freezing, you already shot rock, you corner, freeze. Everybody tends to get into that habit of racing to the button. And Craig Saville's first one's so good, you could do that, but they're playing the scoreboard here. The 3 up. Let's eliminate the enemy rock.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Weight's great.
Whoa! Whoa! Yep!
Yes!
Yep!
Hard!
Yep! Yeah!
Yes!
Got a beauty! Got a beauty! Got a beauty!
Great shot.
Go! Attaboy, Craig.
There's that soft shot again.
Pistol.
Well, Russ, you were talking about the hits played by this team. We do think of them as a team with draws. These are the number of shots they've played as draws in round robin as a percentage. And look at Wayne Madaw, 28% of his shots were draws, hitting almost all the time, it seems. And even Glenn, who has the best draw percentage at 40%. Why is that? Because they get a little bit of a lead and they can defend. In those games where they struggled, they kept it close by hitting and then make the one key draw to score. So they definitely know how to defend. And this is going to be very difficult for Manitoba.
Yeah, that's the misunderstanding, I think, of this Ontario team is just because they play it the soft stuff so well, everybody thinks they play really aggressive. They do not.
Deal, I think.
Huh? Rip the guard, yeah.
I think that's the thing about skipping. We say how difficult it is to get a skip, to train them to do this strategy, and it's that understanding of timing. When do you push? When are you aggressive? When do you make that key come around? And you don't do it in a foolish manner. It is the moment, the opportunity, and that's what makes a great skip. It's the push and pull. Go and then defend.
Whoa.
Boy.
It's another good example here. This allows Rob to sit 2 at some point in time, but there'll be an easy double. The house is wide open, and that gives your skip a chance.
As we play second stone in the 5th.
Wait on it a bit.
Manitoba's Richard Deneau.
2-3.
Just wait a bit. Let it curl. Where is it, Derek?
3. Derek in.
Second Brier appearance for Richard. 2008, he was with Kerry Burtnick.
Yep.
Hard.
Trying to guard their own.
Hard, go hard. Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, if we do that, he gets hit and roll for shot.
All right.
I think
And he's got a center guard. Right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Now, the other part of this team that we really enjoy is just the democracy part of the strategy. The front end in particular, and Wayne included, didn't like making a play on the one in the house. They want to make sure that there is a simple shot left. So it is appeal.
You want to take this one?
Oh.
If you're Rob Fowler,
Russ,
you know, too, that this is your fate. at the moment. Right? You are in this. You know exactly
Line's pretty good.
what Glenn Howard and Ontario are going to do.
Yeah, you do. And so they're going to try to prolong the agony here by throwing that guard. I don't mean agony in the game, but just in this end, they would like to make a move on that yellow-red combination and sit 2 Manitoba Rocks. But the sooner they do that, the more time Ontario has to make that double. And with that little catcher on the side with that beautiful hit and roll that Craig Saville made, it's a potential 2 to score, to make the score 6-1.
Clean. Yep. 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 Good.
Throw behind it?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Side that or just hit here for now. Maybe get a force.
Go right around.
You could hit the stick.
I don't like it.
Knows that.
Let's go around.
You can hit and roll behind there.
Well, you're going to be pretty high.
Not if you throw bumper.
Nice weight.
So what the options here, obviously, to hit and stick is they're going to play or go around. What's the difference?
Well, if you go around, it's dangerous, obviously, because you're not removing any red ones. You don't have hammer. You don't have any protection out front for guards. So that's a really risky shot. You could freeze to the yellow. Glenn would slam everything and probably leave 1 yellow in play.
Easy.
They're going to do it in reverse order. Vic, try to hit third shot here, and at least it's 2 yellows to 1 red.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hard, 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 hard.
Shot stone now belongs to Manitoba.
Once it started to overcurl from the nose, they rolled it into a really good spot. There is absolutely no yellow double there.
So that was plan B?
I think so, Vic. I thought they called a nose, Linda.
I thought they did.
Ray! Real hard. Hard! Whoa! Yeah! Hard! 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 Right to it! Go, 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 go!
Attaboy, beauty.
Or do that.
Very nice angle.
That's what Frank called it.
What was it?
Yeah. That's a beauty.
A free preview of Juice Box. Music for Kids is on now. Music video channel featuring parent-approved videos from today's biggest stars, such as Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez. Contact your TV service provider for details.
Well, if he hits there, if you're back here, he hits that. He's still got 2 guards offset. Yeah. I don't know, whatever you like. I don't mind the hit and flop either. Yeah. Don't have to get too crazy right now, I guess.
No. Just have to make sure we save the shooter.
Yeah, you got to save the shooter on this shot. Otherwise, you're lonely too.
Boy, it's a tough
As long
shot.
as we hold the 8-foot, we're okay.
The 2 options they were discussing is to play this hit and roll or to try and draw around everything. Decided on the hit.
You can only see a small half of this yellow rock. The idea is to hit yellow onto red, get rid of the red that shot rock, and try to save the shooter, but that is very difficult.
Rob Fowler in his first.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard.
First time skipping at the
hard.
National Championship.
Hard. Hard, guys.
Oh, dear.
And the tick off the top.
Just trying a little too hard on that one. They had it.
Wow, that one curled.
Right?
A little quiet, maybe?
No, weight was perfect, Rob.
That one made the finish, right?
Off on, off on. Once it grabbed the line, it started to curl. Just curled a half an inch too much.
Okay, go back to what we said earlier. He asked the front end. What happened? He says, weight was perfect. Okay, so is it putting the broom down and the ice, or did he just get caught?
Well, it just got caught, figures. That was a really tough shot. I would suggest that a good player of Rob's caliber would make that 1 out of 10 times, and they wanted to hit it as thick as they could to save the shooter, and it just curled maybe a half an inch too much. That's all.
than you. A little more than you. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, yep, yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Go, 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 go.
Okay. So now what do you do? Where do you go with your Manitoba and Fowler? You got one left here in 5.
You're not hiding anywhere, Vic. It's all about elimination now. If Rob could hit that top one that he's aiming at there right now, the one Glenn just threw as thin as he can.
Inch.
There is a triple.
Inch and a bit.
Yep. I mean,
yeah, if you just miss it, you get the back one, right? Yeah. So you got to go hard at the...
you got to try and get the top, though, I think.
Yeah. Right there.
Really thin. If he misses completely, his alternative is going down through here and making this double, but that would give Glenn an awfully easy raise for 2.
Go ahead, Robbie. Yep. Thin, guys. Yeah.
This is a specialty, but this is no picnic. Probably has to be less than half for sure.
Very thin, actually.
Even if you're thin, you're still going to double.
Not the shot you want to be playing with a 3-point deficit.
Final stone for Manitoba. Here in 5, Ontario does have last rock. Fowler, Samogalski, Deneau, what's he got? 1-2, oh, he won't. Looking for a small victory, and nothing is going right for Manitoba and Rob Fowler.
Sorry,
Well, this looks like a big miss. It is, of course, a big miss because of the points that are about to go on the board, but it's another end where it was a series of shots that led to a very difficult shot for Rob Fowler.
Final stone. Here in 5, and it's an open draw for 3. Anywhere in the paint.
Can't hurt it.
Just me?
It's running lots of line.
It's on the button.
Wow.
Ontario dominating the first half in this 1-2-page playoff.
They hit it.
7-1.
Yeah, we hit it hard.
You hit it hard.
The 2012 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by World Financial Group. Proud to be a sponsor of the Season of Champions. Your dreams, our strategies. The 2012 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Ford, official automotive partner of the Canadian Curling Association. By Capital One, what's in your wallet? And by M&M Meat Shops, hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle.
Well, all week, Ontario wasn't able, for the most part, to put 2s on. But look, a 2, and a 3. 7-1. They lead through 5, and Glenn Howard's with Brian.
From the Tartan Curling Club.
Glenn, I know in a big game like this, you want a great start, but did you even expect this kind of start against this Manitoba team?
No, honestly, I didn't, Brian. It's just a couple of shots here and there. Robbie struggled a little bit, and we kind of jumped on, took advantage of it, and good news for us. We're up 7-1.
I know you've had changes. Obviously, Richie gone, and now you have Madonna lineup. What has he meant to you this week?
Well, I'm just so proud of Wayne to jump into Richie's shoes. Richie was, again, one of the best curlers I've ever played, one of the best curlers in the world, and to jump into his shoes and done as well as he has, I'm so proud of him, and he's making everything tonight for me, again, just like usual.
Glenn, thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
So 7-1 on the scoreboard, Linda. The numbers, though, reflected.
Definitely. When you look at Ontario, 96%, lowest players 95, averaging out to that beautiful number. But isn't it fascinating? We said Manitoba's game is the hit game. That has escaped them. They haven't found the place to put the broom, but the shots have been tough, and in particular for Rob Fowler, who's below 60% at the moment.
The numbers after 5 are brought to you by Tim Hortons. It's time for Tim's. Well, Rob Fowler earlier in the week got a talking to from his dad. Said, settle down, play within yourself. Maybe they're going to talk now. Nick Next year's Skins game will have a brand new format. It's the Dominion All-Star Curling Skins game, and you, the fan, will determine who plays. Vote for your favorite Canadian curlers by position online at tsn.ca, and then the top 4 skips will select the remaining 12 players through a random draw, and we'll have that for you in a special broadcast January the 17th. Go to tsn.ca/skinsgame for more details. Whoa, 50-50 looks good tonight. Did you buy a ticket? Very good. Welcome back.
If you're quiet later, we'll know you won.
That's right.
It's down collecting is winning.
7-1. Wow, Ontario leading as we go to 6 in this 1-2 page playoff game. The winner goes through to Sunday's final. The loser will drop into the semifinal tomorrow evening. Manitoba will have the last rock, playing the Yellowstones here in 6.
Top button.
I said, Linda, earlier, during round robin, Ontario had this difficulty of producing multiple point ends.
Pretty good.
But look what they've done tonight. A 2, a 2, and a 3.
And this is just brilliant, and it's not just execution. I was saying to Russ in the break that this is the experienced skip knowing exactly how to move rocks around and set up the deuces, and that's Glenn Howard. And you have to feel a bit for Robbie. I mean, he is a rookie skip at the Brier. He's got experience at the Brier, but not in this position. And he's just not getting the execution from his team, and then maybe a couple of mistakes with strategy, and bang, it's a terrible score in the scoreboard.
Nice way, Derek.
So if you're at Manitoba now, you have to think 5 ends. We're going to play 5 ends the best we can. We're going to hope to get back in this game. If nothing else, we need positives to leave the ice with. You have to feel positive when you're going to go play your next game.
Well, that's the beautiful thing. They're in a semifinal either way.
And then there's the experience factor at the Brier, being able to handle what comes along. When you think that, you know, Glenn is in his 14th, Wayne is in his 8th, Brent, Craig, they're all in their 8th. Tonight, Wayne Middaugh plays his 100th game at the Brier. Glenn surpassed your previous mark of 174 earlier this week. The only difference between Saville and Lang, who come as a pair, is that Craig Saville missed 2 games because of the flu, and that's where the two-game difference is.
And we have to mention every time that Craig and the rest of this team have a lot of games, it's just not games. They have playoff games. They have final games. These are players that come every year expecting to do well and perform at their very best. It's so impressive to watch.
Wayne Middaugh becomes the 14th player to reach 100 games at the Tim Hortons Brier.
Think of the provincial games they've played to get here every time.
Try and get, it's too late, okay.
It's probably almost there by itself.
Another deep one. We call it the chamois draw on the 6th end. They run the chamois up and down the ice 4 or 5 times to stop it from frosting up. And not that there'd be any frost in Saskatoon. There's virtually no humidity, but Craig Saville was a little deep in the first one. The first corner guard attempt for Manitoba almost slid in the rings, and there's one that did.
Real hard. Hard. Clean. Clean, 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 clean.
That was a good pickup by Glenn. Brent slid a little left and got the rock back, and he did all right getting the rock back, but you watch that body line as an experienced skip, and you're just not sure he didn't carry that a bit tight, so you don't take any chances. You get the brushers on early.
That's why you play so many games all winter, every winter, to figure out those releases. You heard Glenn talking about Wayne. He's got a bit of a deceiving outturn. It kind of tracks, hangs a little bit, but he knows it. You know how to ice each other. That makes all the difference in these type of games.
10. Hard. Stay on it. Still 10.
Yes.
10.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good shot. Good boy. Feel it?
Yeah.
So Wayne Middaugh joins the team this year, taking the place of Richard Hart, who stepped away from the game. And for Middaugh, who's been a winning skip in his own right, this is exactly where he wants to be. He wants to make a run at the Olympics, and he's bought into this Glenn Howard team.
I look at it as I've been very fortunate to play on 3 fantastic curling teams. All of them great people, great guys, and I could never pick one team over the other. They were different eras, different times in the game. But for me, it's about going out there and trying to help the team that I'm on, and whatever it takes to win the games within my role. Anything I can do to help the team is what I'm trying to do. And I've been very fortunate and very lucky to be surrounded by great players.
Should be 7, 8.
That's 8. Whoa. 7.
And you go back to,
Line's good.
of course, when he played with you.
Wait on, Lee.
He goes to your school, as it were, right? He goes to the Russ Howard School of Curling, learns a lot there.
Switch and go. Yep. It's getting good.
Oh, for sure, Vic. He was the best second stone in the world, in my opinion. In the 5 years he curled with Glenn and I, Pete Corner was an incredible lead. Then Wayne decided he had enough of the old guy and decided to skip. But
right, and then in '98 he hooks up with Graham McCarroll, Ian Tetley, and Scott Bailey, and they dominate the world.
Best team in the world for at least 3 years.
So now here he is at the age of 44, and rather than trying to start his own team, Linda, and trying to make one last push possibly at the Olympic Games in Sochi, he's going to say, you know what, Glenn, whatever you need me to do, I'm buying in.
Threw it real nice.
Those are coming at you hard.
The interesting part about it, and we've said this before, is Wayne is a very different personality than Richard Hart. And so when you're coming onto a team, you're trying to decide what role will I have? Will I try to emulate the person that left? Fantastic player. But Wayne couldn't do that. He's a different guy. So he came on and he tried to work with Glenn in a different way. And I think it's really the end of this week. What we're seeing now, it's finally clicking. They figured out how to make it work to the best of their ability and to make every player on the team their very best. I just really like watching them work together.
I tell you, though, Russ, to my mind, one of the things that makes it work is the openness of Glenn. That he accepts everything, because we know that Wayne is a knowledgeable skip. We know that he wants to maybe have input. Glenn says, I'll take it from everybody.
I agree, and I felt that way when I played it. You know, any good manager needs input from the rest of the players, and you play front end and you're shut out. You're not allowed any input at all. You turn the brain off, and then you just throw your rocks and you sweep, and these guys are into it. You could pick Saville, Lang, go to a strategy clinic, and they would be incredible. All 4 of these guys get it.
No. Get off. No, keep it as sick as we can. It's good, Glenn. Good. Boy.
Ontario sitting 2 without, and again that corner. Oh, here we go. I was just going to say that corner hasn't been used.
I'll try it. It looks late, but you've got to try something.
The hard part here is you have to bury it, and can you be buried and be second shot? If you're not second shot, it's pretty useless.
Just get one in there, guys. What do you think? Is it a 10 to the tee, Rich?
Yeah, it's going to be good here, Robbie.
Pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
Looks heavy.
Wait on, Lee.
This line.
Hey.
Looks heavy right now.
Just leave it.
Just remember, Rob threw 2 freezes that were a little heavy, and he was aiming at the back 12. Then he threw a beautiful freeze in the second and aiming back 12. So a lot of his shots have been back 12, and it's easy to do that again here, and that's too deep.
Yeah, we should be second.
Oh, don't touch it.
I think we're second. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. Good job, Rob.
Just.
But he did wrap it around, didn't he?
Yep, great shot.
It's good to sweep it any further.
Yeah.
It's nice it's for the bat and you can make the double, but
you got to be second though too, right?
Yeah, otherwise it's useless.
But I mean, there's again, if you're looking for little positives here, is that one that he was able to put the brush down in the right spot?
Yep, and a good throw. You know, a foot or so lighter, it's a real danger shot for Ontario.
Should be there.
T.
Line only right now.
T line.
All there.
Final stone for Ontario here in 6.
All even's light.
Not
All
light.
even's light.
It's not light.
Manitoba does have the
All even's
last
light.
rock.
Right off. Right off.
All even's light.
It's not
No.
light. Just a little bump.
No.
It's not light.
No.
Oh boy. Ah boy.
Look.
Good shot. Beauty.
Thanks, guys. Good end, boys.
There too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Careful now, you're taking. Should be good there.
That just curls enough. Glenn had a pretty lazy handle, and it worked to his advantage this time. It finished. He was really 2 or 3 feet heavy, and it curled just enough. And no choice but to draw for 1.
Right on the tee line, guys.
Okay. Speed should be the same here, eh?
So against 4, if I remember, Brack Linda in the 3rd. Manitoba was facing
Probably
4
like a
in the
pound less,
3rd and gave up a steal.
A little bit less.
What was he facing when he got his single in 4?
3.
3. And now he's drawing against 2 on the edge of the 4-foot. Final stone. Looking for a single.
No, it's not more, guys.
Where
it's
is
not
it?
more.
Rob Fowler.
What?
8 maybe.
Maybe.
Oh. 8 would be back 4.
Coming down.
Backing or not?
No, you don't should be good. Wait, should be good.
Samagalski and Deneau.
Don't touch it. Should be good. Wait's good. Wait's good. Wait's good. All right.
Boy, it's nervous time, isn't it? On every throw, he picks up a single. 7-2 Ontario.
That there is this spot.
Is it good? Sure looks good. If you'd only get some in your mouth, that would probably be the best. The MLS on TSN is back, and we're kicking off the season with an all-Canadian matchup. Vancouver is at home against the newest Canadian team, the Montreal Impact. Live coverage begins tomorrow at 6 Eastern on TSN and TSN Mobile TV. So a little pizza, you want to chase it with popcorn? Why not? Of course. Of course. There you go. Pizza, popcorn. Pizza, popcorn. Oh, doesn't get much better than that. Here on a Friday night in Saskatoon as our coverage of the Tim Hortons Brier continues. Manitoba picks up the single. So here in 7, it's still all Ontario. They lead 7-2, and the Ontario champions out of the Coldwater and District Curling Club will have the last rock. They have the hammer playing the red stone.
Yep.
Mine's good.
Up in a bit. You got room.
Well, if Alberta or the Territories teams are listening, and we know that Manitoba can't hear me at the moment, I will mention that now Ontario are all even at 96%. So if you didn't want to know that, if it makes you a little scared, hopefully you weren't listening, the teams that are still in this event. That is just incredible.
What do you like?
Take the guard. You take the guard.
Sure. Let's try it. Let's try it. Yeah, if you
Back
click, fine.
yeah, back line.
Yeah, back here.
This is the shot I like the most out of Ontario. They're so good at this shot. Listen to the communication here with their brushers. It's all about speed. It's a hair heavy, you can't make it. Hair light, you can't make it.
Close. Yep. 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 Hard. Gotta go real hard. Real hard. Real hard. Real hard. Real
Lang and Madame LaGrange.
They're trying not to remove that yellow guard.
That's a good shot.
Easy deuce.
Great shot.
It's one of the few times in the game that this Ontario team has really had a big scrub.
Beauty.
Yeah, exactly. And that miss that will ruin the 96%. It'll drop them all the way to 94. It gives them a corner guard, and the red one rolls in the rings, Vic. It's maybe better than the shot they tried.
There was definitely the plan B that Glenn had in mind if the first one didn't work, and it is a great shot.
Because of the speed, right? Perfect choice of weight.
Needs to curl or not? No, it's going to over curl if anything.
It's three.
There's still a little piece on that side.
I still say one of the best drills that teams can do is one where you never remove rocks. You just tap them. You can even use hack weight if it's a couple of rocks together. That doesn't move the granite very far. But learning to just push rocks around and set up angles and learn those quiet
I don't
weights.
think you want to hit that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just peel it.
Okay.
Who shot?
Must be.
All Manitoba can hope for now is a chance to play some of those quiet shots. And maybe make it a little harder for Glenn and the team.
But I tell you what, not a lot of sparkle in those Manitoba eyes, is there?
Oh dear, it's very difficult. Now, as we said, once they leave the ice, they know they still have another game. This is not sudden death.
And so how big is that win?
Should miss.
On the Wednesday night over
shouldn't miss.
The 2010 champions from Calgary, Kevin Cooey. Because they both finished with records of 8-3, but it was by virtue of that win that this Manitoba team got the second place.
In some ways, this is a blessing. It's hard to say that to Manitoba, and certainly Rob wouldn't agree with that statement right now. But to play on a single sheet with this bigger crowd, with all this on the line, it's just great experience for him. And he will take, even though he's on the wrong side here today, he'll take that into tomorrow, and he'll be that much more prepared.
Okay.
Fine, Rich. Yeah. Hack. Okay.
It's a good call by Rob. I love some of the moves he makes. That, you know, this forces Glenn to kind of go after the shot rock, and then there's a guard that's usable for Manitoba to try to steal a point.
Whoa! Got to roll.
Brent Lang.
Off. Off. Right off. Clean. Whoa. Clean. 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 No. 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 No.
Right to the nose. May have actually gotten across the nose a little bit. To punch it out the back.
I booted that. I booted it. Was it?
Shot, Brent.
Good.
Rob's going to try to come around on the intern side. We haven't seen a lot of interns, but that's a little less ice than we certainly saw at the start of the game.
Yep. Hard. 6, 5. Hard.
Not sure that's enough to get by the rock and the rings.
Add to that, it's a little light. It'll break sooner.
Right to the T-line. Hard. Stay with it. Whoa, whoa.
That's good.
Alan and his family moved to Manitoba some 20 years ago. Alan and his brother, former Scottish junior champions. Little tap back to the roar of the crowd here to sit one. But remember now, Ontario does have the last rock here in 7.
Rob Fowler knew that spot better than I did.
Yes.
They managed to hold that. It was much less ice than they'd been taking about 45 minutes ago.
No, I thought so too, and the brushers are calling out light. It was not light. It was very nicely thrown.
It's quick today, isn't it? Really no choice at this point. They need a steal.
You got to guard half of this one.
What'd you say? Guard
So kind of right in the middle.
Half the red, half
6
the yellow.
feet short's good.
It can be picked out, and it can also be removed with that red stone that's in front of it. A little harder to guard something that has 2 ways to be removed.
2 maybe, 2, 3. 2.
Stay down, just hard, clean. Keep coming, yep.
Hard, guys, hard. Go, 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 go. Go, go,
Yep.
go, go.
Hard.
Go, 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 go,
Hard.
go, go.
Hard, a little more. Whoa, whoa,
Good,
it's
good, good.
Come on, good shot.
Shot. I think that's overthrown.
This would be Wayne's specialty. The high, hard one. Even if you jam out the back red, might be a smart thing.
Whoa, whoa.
The guard did not land on the spot they wanted. It over-curled.
Yep, yes. We want to get the back.
And there, they will remove the backing. Wayne thought, I think, for a moment that it just picked up some curl.
It looked like it started to jump.
Beauty, Wayne. Yeah.
Thanks.
You see Allen's go down there? You trying to pick it?
I was trying to make sure I hit it.
Oh, come on. I just want to get the back one. Didn't we leave a back one?
They're telling me 6 inches, right?
We had a foot.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, a foot.
Okay, well, they said 6 inches.
Good shot.
You know.
Yeah, you're protecting.
Everybody has a different idea what 6 inches is.
Yeah, you know, that was too easy. I was just waiting for that.
Just your last end should be good, eh?
It's over buried on this turn, and we watched Allen's run fairly straight.
Wait on it, guys.
Rob's
Wait
going to
on
be
it.
awfully close to the guard to get this in there.
8, 6,
Yep,
7,
yep. Line's good.
Whoa, needs it 6.
He said we wanted to see Rob have more room, more space to make these draws. This isn't a lot of room, and you're trying to draw around a rock top 4 foot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Yep.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Shot, Al.
Very nice.
Yeah, it'll stop in time. He's the shot stone back 4.
Looked like it was going to go in real good, and then it kind of straightened.
Mine was doing this, still coming down
wavy.
the draw.
Yeah,
it came
that's
back, and then it took another curl in.
just saying it
Almost
is
a
straightening
ridge
out
or
of here.
something. That's pretty good, man.
Beautiful shot.
That right there. That looks good.
Okay. You can draw Glenn. You can go here.
Yeah. That might be better, eh?
You only got to be half 4 foot.
You could draw, you could even tap that one up.
This is tricky. It's not moving
Lots
much
of
here.
choices with this particular shot.
So do we,
Top
John?
4?
Full
Draw,
4?
yeah, top 4.
We need half in the 4.
Yeah.
3/4.
Smart call by Wayne. Like this, it's a much easier shot. They've identified that straight spot, so it's tough to tap out a rock that's buried if it's not curling as much as it was earlier in the games.
Puts 2 red stones in a very nice spot, top 4.
I think we're there.
Glenn may be the most famous beer store manager in our country.
Right to the back. Right to it.
To the back.
Whoa.
Might as well tap it.
No, you're not to it yet.
Once
You're not on it. No.
You're saying it's heavy, but this is that straight spot.
Oh boy. In a game where he's been almost perfect, that's the first mistake.
I'm not sure.
It's not curling.
Pretty quick. It's so straight, I guess.
Sit 2 buried.
Same ice is good.
Yeah, same ice. Where was it
Are
there?
we shot or no?
I don't know.
Guess it doesn't matter,
The
right?
same ice? Same ice with a foot less way to be perfect, eh?
We swept that a
Does that
little
look
bit?
more or not?
It would be good.
No, that's the same.
Same weight's probably good, Robbie. We swept that a little bit.
Yeah, I'd like to be a little less. Like, I'd like to be T-line back button here.
Yeah, we swept that. We swept that a bit.
We swept that a good ways.
Yeah, same throw.
Go same and
Just
be
downhill in this spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
They warmed it up with quite a few in a row. A little bit of straightness also adds to the speed. The bigger the curl, the more it's going to slow down.
A little less. About the
How's the
same
weight?
weight.
About the
Same
same.
7, 8.
Whoa, it looks heavier, no?
8.
Whoa, guys, low line,
same.
low line. Whoa.
For us,
Wait,
this is an
whoa,
opportunity for Manitoba now, right? I mean, this is an opening in an end where they don't even have the last round.
Needs to curl.
And it'll stop. Looks like they're sitting 2 back edge.
If I take it, fine.
You just have to.
What's that?
Yeah. If I take the red one, I take the red one.
Same throw we
I
got
think
right?
so.
We're going right back to it, though, right? We're trying to tap him, right?
Yeah.
Like same weight.
Well, okay. What? Wayne, do you want to top it?
Well, you don't want to do this.
Okay.
I can hit it.
You could.
Why don't
You only get one still.
Still score.
Just freeze.
Oh, there's no shot for 2? Sure there is.
Well, with just here.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Same weight.
Okay.
Same throw. Same throw.
So if they just
weight,
play
skipper.
the very, very quietest of taps, do they move those 2 yellows enough to bring that stone top edge into play?
Yeah, for sure. I think so, Vic. It's going to be about a back 8. The problem with that is they decided not to play that shot the first time because it's so straight here. But Rob's rock's more exposed this time, so it's a little bit easier to play some weight at it. And yeah, I think there's a shot for 2 here for sure.
Saville Lang
Same weight.
just with a dusting now. Now here they go. They got to get by their own around the top edge. They got to get it around that one. That's done. Move them back far enough. That's one for sure. And now they'll take a look to see who is second shot, top or back.
Looks like 2 to me.
From this overhead, you're right. Just look at the... Two. It is kicked away by Alan Liburn, and Ontario gets 2 more.
What's the...
Rob Fowler had the chance to close it down. It's that time for the M&M Meat Shops Final End Challenge. Right after the game, go to finalend.ca and enter the secret word for a chance to win a trip for 2 to see the 2013 World Junior Curling Championship in Sochi, Russia. The first 100 entries will have a chance to win a $50 M&M gift card, and all participants will get an M&M discount. We'll give you the secret word shortly. So Manitoba had a chance, but the last rock of Fowler goes too deep. Ontario plays that nice quiet tap back, scores 2 more, and it's a dominating game for Ontario in this 1-2 page playoff. They're up 9-2 as we welcome you back to Saskatoon and our coverage of the Tim Hortons Brier. And here in the 8th, Manitoba will have the last rock playing the Yellowstones.
Pretty good.
And
halfway.
Liburn, the name stays the same, but the gentleman on the left is now their 5th player, William Liburn. That's Alan's younger brother, as mentioned, immigrating from Scotland some 40 or 20 years ago. Both of them the former Scottish junior champions. And William skipping his own team at the recent Manitoba Provincials. And he was the, in fact, he was the all-star skip at the Manitoba Provincials. And he lost in the semifinal to, guess who? Rob Fowler.
He had that game 1-2, Vic. It looked like they were going to win it, and Rob made a couple just absolute pistols to pull that game off, or he might have been here.
Well, this is definitely the tough part for Rob. They were so hoping to come out with their best game. They had the day to prepare. They had such a great round robin, and you're very disappointed when the game is like this.
A little heavy, maybe.
3. Okay.
A little heavy.
Try and get.
We're tight by itself. Might be in.
Okay. Good. Okay, Rich.
It so often happens in a single sheet draw like this. The ice is that little bit faster, so then it's good. It's good for the Manitoba team that they've now seen this, and they can take advantage of that in their next game.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 real close. No.
Well, he just slides behind the stone, just outside the rings. Rob's going to go have a look to see if it just may be biting.
Now, you don't want to use all of these up. Ontario's had so many things go well, along with executing beautifully. That one just about made it.
2.5, 3.
Nice to be at 3, Will.
Richard Deneau, if you're part of the crowd here, of course, you're disappointed, expecting to see a closer game, but Ontario dominating.
A little nibbler even, maybe. Yep, yep. Okay, good.
Good throw, Rich.
Come on this side of the green to make the double. No respect.
Yep, 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 yep.
It's a good shot of Glenn moving the broom as Wayne slid out.
Wow, got to roll it a bit.
Yep, yep.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey, loves that hitting on the house, eh?
So this is the 1-2 page playoff. Ontario and Manitoba. The winner will go right through to Sunday's final. That benefit of being in the 1-2 game, of course, is you get the second chance, the semifinal tomorrow, playing the winner of the 3-4 game, and that'll be Alberta against the Territories, Cooey against Cooey, Kevin against Jamie. We'll have that for you, of course, tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
I had a look at that brush. Excuse me, for brushing, the optimum is to use a synthetic to heat the ice. an optimum amount of foam. It should be dry, and the stenciling does detract in some cases, so you have to really check the fabric that you have.
Right off the bench.
That's why these players can take the rock so much further. They can heat the ice with that synthetic brush so well.
That's what we care about. Yeah.
Here's a good look at it.
Whoa, whoa, off. Whoa, off.
Looks
yep,
good.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh boy, Wayner.
Wow.
Smoking.
Yeah.
That's a nice compliment from the skip as he turns around, as Glenn turns around to his bench and says he's smoking. Referring, of course, to Wayne Middaugh.
A little 97% for Wayne Middaugh so far.
Yep.
All players on Ontario still over that 90% mark.
Good throw, Willie.
Throw, Will.
So let's take a look at the numbers for the two skips, Linda.
Well, just ironic the way the game has gone. That Rob Fowler's big shot, the hit and roll, has not been able to be used. His hits were so difficult. His numbers are low, 31% on those 4 hits. What do you say about a guy that's at 91% other than it's been a great game for Glenn Howard?
The player numbers are brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Nice shot.
91%, you could say he's bringing down the team average, Linda.
Say it again.
Well, I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
I told you there's just a little something about the way he's throwing today. Now that one's big weight, so it's going to react a little differently, but just over the last few games, I just see it in his slide and his release. It's just so perfect, and we already know he has a great balanced delivery. That's why he's getting out to that release point under control and can do so much with the weight, but it just looks so smooth.
Run for a while.
Yeah.
Come around.
Really no option here now for Manitoba. You have to hide around the corner guard, hope for a mistake. This is greasy fast in this spot.
Line's good.
Pretty good.
Just clean. Just clean.
Wait's good.
We got room.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What I do like to see in Rob right now is he's not changing his pre-shot routine. Often we see players when it's not going well, when you're struggling, you speed up. You just want to get out of there. You don't want to be out on that ice, and so you speed everything up. He's taking his time. He's trying to make sure that every throw is its best.
Yeah, they're not nervous. I don't think there's any real problem here. It's a learning curve, but they've just come up against a hot squad.
It just runs. So
All right. I mean, I'm going to put the W in for this Ontario team. Go through to Sunday. They'll get the hammer again.
2 days ago,
They'll get the rock choice again. Go with the same thing. I mean, is this the perfect scenario? Not to change anything.
Absolutely, especially when you play these kind of numbers. Now, some of the shots were wide open hits, but a lot of the finesse shots were made, the few that they had. So I don't think you'll see Ontario change color.
It's pretty close.
I think the scary part, and we saw it at the Scotties, the team that won the 1-2 game at the Scotties, BC, had a fantastic game in that game, and then on the Sunday did not bring their best. And so all you want to do if you're Team Ontario and go on to win this game is find the formula for that day and a half off where you still can bring the same kind of performances you brought today.
To sit 2.
It's good enough, isn't it? It's for the run.
And now the draw against a couple. And you make a good point, Linda. They will not play now until Sunday evening. This Ontario team.
All hits. Great game. Great game. Really awesome.
And the other part for Glenn Howard is you have to just put out of your mind all those finals you've lost. Because they actually have not played bad in those finals. They have come up against teams that are playing like they are today.
That's exactly it. Sometimes the opponent doesn't cooperate.
He's been the runner-up, of course, the last 2 years. Well, Rob Fowler knows what it was like. He was a runner-up in 2009 when he played with Jeff Stoughton. So they both know the feeling. Final stone facing 2 here in 8. Manitoba's Rob Fowler.
Just clean.
Deneau and Samagalski.
Yep. Wait,
thanks, guys. Good game.
For the single to end it on a positive, but nothing more positive than the performance of Ontario. What a game for the team out of the Coldwater and District Curling Club. Make the final 9-3 over Manitoba in this 1-2-page playoff. And boy, they look good.
I know.
The 2012 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Roll Up the Rim to Win. It's time for Tim's.
A 9-3 win for Ontario. You would think would tell you all you need to know.
Well, there is a bit of a story there, Vic. Started in the first end corner guard game that hadn't really worked all week, but suddenly, yes, those deuces go on the board, a nice tap and one, and then Manitoba facing 4 couldn't roll in to get shots, so it was a steal, and it really was a perfect performance by Team Ontario, 94% today.
The game story brought to you by M&M Meat Shops. Hundreds of meal ideas, one aisle. Tremendous performance by Ontario. Glenn Howard is done.
Glenn, congratulations. A dominating game in this 1-2 game. My dad was a math teacher, 94% across the board. That's pretty amazing. Maybe just talk about this game.
Oh, yeah. The 3 guys in front of me made everything and made my shots pretty easy. And I'm just so happy we put a so-called A game out there. And we got Robbie and the boys on an off day, and lucky for us.
Did you peak too early? You got some stuff in the tank for Sunday.
I hope we got stuff. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we've been getting a little bit better as the week goes on. Last night we played great. Tonight we played great. And I think we're going to hopefully keep the best till last.
I think now since 2006, your 6th final now, Glenn, which is very impressive. Redemption on your mind?
I hope so. Yeah, we were here to win. We definitely, the good news is we've avoided that bronze medal game, which is a goal. And yeah, no, we're ready to play. We're playing right where we have to do, playing as well as we need to, and hopefully we'll bring it on Sunday.
Best of luck to you. Enjoy Saturday off, and good luck on Sunday, Glenn. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Brian.
Time now for the M&M Meat Shops Final End Challenge, and the secret word is chicken. Right after the game, go to finalend.ca and enter that secret word chicken for a chance to win a trip for 2 to see the 2013 World Junior Curling Championships in Sochi, Russia.
The 2012 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by World Financial Group, proud to be a sponsor of the Season of Champions. Your dreams, our strategies. By Scotties, proud supporter of women's curling for over 30 years. And by Capital One, what's in your wallet?
From the first end, when Ontario opened with the last draw. Dominating game. And really no response from Manitoba and Rob Fowler. Here in this 1-2-page playoff as Ontario wins at 9-3, and now for Manitoba, time to regroup.
And last time I checked, that means we got to win 2 games. And coming into the week, I think we all would have said, you know what, put us in the semi Saturday night. The other nice thing is we got a taste of it here tonight. There was a lot of family that arrived. And that's all kind of happening just before the game here tonight. Tomorrow night we can just come out and just get locked right in right from the get-go.
No.
Anything else, guys?
Sorry.
Anything else?
No, just, what time's practice tomorrow?
Well,
we got a meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, just
okay, let's go, guys. All right, guys, tomorrow. Let's go. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, let's go.
So positive comments from the skipper, Rob Fowler, because they will get that second chance. They will try to lock it in. They will be in the semifinal. against the winner of Alberta and the Territories in that all-family battle, all Cooey, all the time. It will be Jamie against Kevin. And we'll have it for you Saturday afternoon at 2:30 Eastern Time. They did play, of course, in round robin, and it was Kevin, an 8-4 winner over Jamie, helped by a steal of 3. So that is the 3-4 page playoff game when we join you again on Saturday afternoon from here in Saskatoon as our coverage continues. But you have to be impressed with Ontario. Make the final 9-3 over Manitoba here at the Tim Hortons Brier on Canada's sports leader, TSN. Sports Center is next.